This right here is quite possibly the best 3D printer accessory that I never knew I needed. I'm talking about the InfinityFlow3D S1. I purchased this, and in today's video, I'm gonna be giving you a full review and seeing if it's worth adding one of these to your 3D printer set. Now, this isn't just a fancy spool holder. No, it's actually much cooler than that. This is an automatic filament feeding system that's gonna allow you to feed up to 2 different spools of filament automatically directly to your 3D printer without having to intervene with it. And almost all 3D printers these days come with a filament runout sensor that's gonna automatically detect when you have filament loaded into your 3D printer or when there's a break or an end in the actual spool that you're printing with, allowing you to pause the print that you're actually running and then swap out to a new roll. However, what makes the InfinityFlow unique is that it's gonna continuously allow you to feed filament directly into the printer as soon as one spool ends. This means that you can continuously swap out rolls of filament without ever pausing your print or potentially running into a layer shift due to you pausing the printer and swapping out your filament. I should also mention that this isn't some big brand that is creating and selling these. It's just two guys that started this up over on Kickstarter, I think in the fall of last year. I ended up seeing a Facebook ad for this, I think in February, received mine in March, and finally now getting it set up and showing it off here for you all. Some of the components with this are also 3D printed, which is cool to see, and they do have different spool width options that are very reasonably priced between the smaller 1 kilogram roll, the 3 kilogram, which I have here, as well as 5 kilogram roll options. The assembly process is also really straightforward and simple. They have a great assembly guide and tutorial over on their website that's gonna walk you through the entire process of getting it assembled. This took all of maybe 15 minutes for me to get this all put together and ready to use. And speaking of, let me explain how this all works. Your power is gonna plug into the back underside of the InfinityFlow, and basically once you turn it on, you'll see these 2 red light indicators on top, letting you know that there's no filament actively being fed through this. So here I can take one spool and I can begin the process of inserting it into the back opening here, and you'll see that it changes color to green, and it's gonna automatically start feeding this through the system. So it's got this mechanical system there that's gonna continually feed the filament through to the extruder. Now, if I push back on this, it's gonna stop. So it has some force feedback sensors in there, letting it know when it needs to actually feed or not feed. Now, what I can do is take a second roll and feed it into the other opening here, and then we'll see it changes from red to yellow, letting you know that it's ready there and waiting. So what I'm gonna end up doing here is snipping off the back end of the orange roll and letting this run through. You'll see that continues, and it automatically picks up this red roll and starts feeding it through. It also has these levers on the very front that if you press them, it's gonna reverse the action. So if you needed to unspool one of these or feed the filament back through the way it came from, you can press that button and hold it down and it will unload the filament for you. And what's awesome about the device is that it should be compatible with just about every 3D printer that is out there, especially ones that have PTFE tubes that are connected directly to your extruder. It's gonna make that whole process of setting this up and getting it connected a whole lot easier. So you are going to need to have connected a PTFE tube directly to the InfinityFlow. It does come with a few. There are also a bunch of different adapters that they offer depending on which machines that you're working with. So in this case here, I have this coupler adapter that I can plug directly into the PTFE tube from my Centauri Carbon, and we can get our first print up and running with this. Now, normally this is where I would tell you all about today's video sponsor, which is Elegoo, the makers of the Centauri Carbon, which is honestly a fast, affordable, and amazing 3D printer. However, today I'm gonna be talking with you about Elegoo's latest contest that is absolutely incredible. To celebrate their 10 years of Elegoo, they're running a 10 Elegoods design contest where you can win some amazing prizes, including 3D printers and cold hard cash. Basically, Elegoo's looking for you to design and share something that you believe defines Elegoo as a brand. So think of it this way: if you had a time capsule that you could design something that represented Elegoo that you could put in it, whether it be something that's wearable, or maybe it's a statue or some kind of miniature that represents the brand of Elegoo and your passion for 3D printing. And what's great about this is that there are multiple routes that you can take for this design competition. They have 2D design options as well as 3D modeling options. So if you wanted to go the classic 2D design route, maybe you could design an emoji or some kind of Elegoo sticker or some kind of new merch for a t-shirt, or maybe a new brand mascot for Elegoo. And then similarly on the 3D side of things, if you wanted to 3D model something that was wearable or a new miniature or some kind of a statue that represents your passion for Elegoo that they bring to the 3D printing community. They've even provided some basic 3D models that you could redesign and remix to try and make your own. And a perfect example of this is this 3D printable hat. But get started now because the contest runs all the way through May 20th. So you have until May 20th to submit either a 2D drawing or a 3D model that you've designed. And make sure to post these online and tag Elegoo on your social media platform of choice using the hashtag 10for-Elegoods and Elegoo 10th anniversary. And if you're interested in more information about the 10 for Elegoods design contest or the Centauri Carbon and some of the other things that Elegoo provides, you'll find links to those down below. Now let's get back to these prints. So I've got my very first print up and running with the InfinityFlow3D, and so far everything's running smoothly, and I'm really interested to see how it'll handle running out of this first color.
Also, I didn't clip off the end. You can see where the filament, where very end runs out, is clipped into the wooden spool. So, or the cardboard spool. So I'm interested to see if it'll actually pull that out properly or what will happen here. Oh no, what's it gonna do? I don't want to intervene. I want to see how this plays out here. If it's gonna pull it off or what. Yep, it did. Awesome. All right, it just kicked over. So that side's turned red, the LED indicator, and this one's green. So it should start feeding this one in here. We can see the end of the blue filament here. Let's see if it'll start pushing that in. Oh, it wasn't in all the way. Oh my gosh, that was a good thing that I was here. I didn't have the filament inserted all the way there in the tip. So hopefully this catches up with itself. Yeah, it did. There's the green is inside there. All right, and look at that. It changed the filament colors. This is gonna be really cool. All right, we're officially gonna be cutting over to the red now. I ended up snipping off the end of the green so that we could transition into another roll without pausing the print. All right, it just picked up the red. I didn't have to do anything this time because I actually inserted it properly. So here it's starting the feeding process. Unfortunately, I had to stop the print. As you see here, it was not feeding all the way through. I think what ended up happening was the filament got kind of partially stuck here trying to feed in because of the sharp angle. So what I'm going to do now is just instead of feeding it directly in through the tubing here, I'm going to just run it straight over the top and directly into the extruder.
So now I've got a Benchy up and running and everything's running really smoothly here with the PTFE tube installed directly over the top of the printer, directly into the extruder, eliminating that sharp curve that we have with the default installation. And again, just gonna trim away at the red filament so that we can transition directly into the green. And I love seeing this push directly through, and you can see how seamless this is as it continually feeds this filament directly to the extruder. Now I was able to get 3 different color changes directly on this just by, again, snipping off the filament and then having it auto feed to the next color in the transition process. So you could continue to do this with until the filament actually runs out, or using the same color filament, or like I'm doing here, just continually swapping just by cutting them and feeding in the new roll. So I'm gonna go back and try and reprint the larger Lego brick separator using multiple rolls here on the InfinityFlow. And again, this is working so seamlessly, transitioning between the different color spools of filament. I even let this run overnight, which is where we're seeing a larger stretch of one color directly on the print. And this printed so good on the Centauri Carbon. This is like a perfect combination of devices here with this 3D printer, where it's allowing me to, again, very seamlessly transition between different spools of filament. One drawback that you're gonna have with the InfinityFlow is if you're gonna be trying to print with TPU, it does not wanna work with that unless it's like a really stiff TPU. Potentially, they do not recommend it because you're gonna have to have the filament butting up against itself inside of the PTF tube as it's feeding to the extruder. So if it's too flexible, it's just kind of gonna collapse in on itself and more than likely get jammed up somewhere along the way. And to really test this out, I have a much larger project in mind that I wanna run using multiple spools of this yellow Elegoo Rapid PLA. Yeah, if you didn't already know, this is a He-Man wig from Hex 3D and just is looking incredible here off of the Centauri Carbon. Now, before I attempt to put this on, one thing that I love about this system here is that I was able to run this overnight without any interruption or interference by myself, and it was automatically able to feed through this first spool and transition into the second spool to get this fully printed overnight. Now, for the real test here, oh no, is it too small? It's too small for my big old noggin. This is the goofiest print that I have ever printed, and I'm absolutely in love with it. This yellow was just a perfect yellow. All right, at this point, it should be no surprise to anyone that I'm absolutely in love with this device and using it with my Centauri Carbon. I'm already planning on hooking this up to my Orange Storm Giga, which is the primary place that I want to be using this on because it is a massive 3D printer and just chews through filament. But no device is perfect, and there are a few callouts that I wanted to make. The first one that's gonna be the biggest call out that I think is a potential turnoff for a lot of folks is just the pricing. It is not an inexpensive device. The cheapest option, which is the 1 kilogram roll, I think is $180 for that. And then each subsequent slightly larger variation between the 3 kilogram and the 5 kilogram are only slightly more expensive because you're just paying for like a slightly larger 3D print and some rollers, but the core device is where the primary cost is coming from. But if you're running something like a print farm or large print jobs, I think this is gonna end up being a well worth purchase. Again, depending on what you're 3D printing. If you already have a multicolor 3D printer that has like an AMS system or whatever they're calling them on your machine that you're working with, more than likely it's already capable of doing something like this, so it's not really necessary. But for something like the Centauri Carbon that doesn't have a multicolor system yet, this is a fantastic solution. Or for some of the older bed slingers that are out there, or the just huge plethora of other 3D printers that are out there that could use a tool like this. And I'm honestly surprised we haven't already seen something like this on the market. Another thing I wanted to mention is a slight call out, or I should say a tweak that I made earlier in the video when using this, that I inserted the filament into one of these entry points and the light turned, I think it was the amber color, or not amber, yellow, indicating that it was fed in there, but it wasn't actually pushed in far enough. So what I've been doing now is I manually push it, like so almost force it in to make sure it's all the way in and seated in the gears so that it'll automatically pick it up when it starts feeding in the filament. So just double check that it's pushed as far in as you can before, you know, walking away from one of these. The other obvious one is you're still potentially going to run into insertion jams when it's feeding the filament automatically, when it's changing the filament automatically directly into your extruder. Now this is probably going to be widely varying, but depending on the 3D printer that you're working with, this going over the top here really solved this issue for me in the Centauri Carbon. But again, this could differ depending on which 3D printer that you've got this set up with. And the only other call out that I really have that I think is a semi-pain with using this is just unloading the filament. So I have this yellow still here feeding into the tube. It's already unloaded from the 3D printer, but now I have to press and hold this and continually spool the filament out of the tube. It's not the end of the world. It's like, it's not the biggest thing. It's just, again, it's a little bit of a time sink there when you're going to be unloading to load in some new filament before starting a new print job. They have mentioned that they are working on a cutter version of this that'll automatically cut the filament, and it'll also help prevent any kind of clogging that might occur, that if your filament was taped to the spool, it'll detect that and then automatically cut the filament so that it's not gonna jam up the InfinityFlow. But again, I am extremely happy with the purchase that I made for the InfinityFlow3D S1. This is again the first iteration of this. It sounds like they might be further iterating on it, based on feedback from their current user base. There's a lot of documentation that they have over on their website, as well as 3D printable files and accessories depending on the actual 3D printer that you're trying to connect this to. Definitely check that out before picking one of these up for yourself. I'll also have links down below to this, as well as a coupon code that you can get $10 off if you're interested in that sort of thing. And in general, let me know what you think about the InfinityFlow. You'll definitely be seeing this more from me, probably in the background of some of my videos. I'm definitely gonna be using this here on a much larger project that I'm in the process of starting here for a video that you should hopefully see in the next week or so. But let me know again what you think. I want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters for your continued support. If you're interested in things like my 3D printer settings, you can find those over in my Patreon. And I just want to say thanks again for watching. And if you haven't already seen, I will be doing a much larger video on a huge version of the Lego brick separator here that you should be able to see in the next few days. Hey, thanks so much for watching, you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye now. I'm a little boy that loves berries and cream, berries and cream.